aside some time finally. We're gonna break open this cake of yarn. I'm so excited. This is Peacock from Rainbow Rhapsody, the yarn bee from Hobby Lobby. It was $8.99. I got it for 30% off because all yarn was 30% off. And look at how pretty that is. It reminds me so much of the Sheep Just Whirl. And I cannot wait to break into it and see if it feels the same. So far, I can pretty much say it does, but I fell in love. Sometimes you just see yarn and you're like, it just sings to you. Let's talk about the specifics first. This is 60% cotton, 40% acrylic, super fine size 1 yarn. You get 7 ounces, which is 198 grams. That's 918 yards. That's a little less than you'll get from a cake of whirl. Actually, yeah, probably about 100 meters less if I remember correctly. So I'm hoping that I don't have to go back to get a second one to finish the shawl that we're going to make together. But if I do, I do. At that price, $5, I'll go back and get another cake. Maybe I should go now just in case. We don't want them to run out. But as it were, it suggests using a size D hook in America, or another size for that is 3.25 millimeter, or a size 3 if you're away from the United States. It is also suggested, if you happen to be knitting with this yarn, that for a size 2 or 2.75 millimeter knitting needle would be used. I'm going to be crocheting a shawl from Kirsten Bishop. She's got her Klaziena shawl. I'm using my phone. I already downloaded the PDF, and you've got to see this shawl. I am going to be making a Klaziena shawl from Kirsten Bishop. I got a hold of her yesterday. I just wanted permission to talk about it and show the beginning of the shawl. It's a free pattern from her, but I wouldn't want to overstep my boundaries as far as, or her boundaries, as far as sharing the shawl with you, but she totally gave blessing. She was really, really sweet. If you get a chance, go see some of her patterns. Kirsten Bishop, I'll link down below. Gorgeous. I even know the next one I have to make after I finish this one. So but a lot of you were saying that you're a little concerned about, you know, the super fine size 1 crochet, and I totally get that. This is one of those things that I'm thinking the pattern will carry me through the cake of yarn, because I don't love crocheting with finger weight yarn, or fingering weight yarn. But I couldn't say no to that. That's just it. It's magical. And it's so soft and squishy, but it's still so dense in there. I can't wait to wear it. Guys, it's been about 25 minutes of crocheting, and I am finishing up row 9 of my Klaziena shawl by Kirsten Bishop. Isn't that pretty? This is just one of those patterns that you want to put coffee on at 7 o'clock at night and just crochet all night long while the family sleeps. It might happen. It took me about 5 rows to realize she has a very, very clear and beautiful chart, which I greatly prefer to work from. It's just a lot easier for me. I can like watch TV and do stuff if I'm working from a chart with something like this, but if I'm actually reading the words, it's just not my learning style. I really love a chart. So I was giddy. I actually squeed. Now we're talking about the yarn though. The pattern so far is fabulous. I stopped for a second and I said, is this yarn worthy of the pattern? And then I'm like, no, I'm gonna love this shawl. And if in the end I don't end up loving the shawl, you're going to hear from me probably very, very soon. I don't see this taking me long. And if it's not worth it, then I'll make another one, right? Because I've started, I love the colors, but the yarn, so is the sheep just wool. So this stands for both. They're a little ropey. As far as like thin rope, it just feels a little astringent, dry. That cotton is really coming through. I'm going to show you guys the color changes. We're going to see how long one takes. I always love to do that with a color changing ball. But I'm going to be honest, I've had about 5 knots already, and I went through a good amount of yarn vomit. My own fault on that one. I won't blame the yarn on that one. The knots were the yarn because of the dry quality and the cottoniness. When something's skinny yarn that is cottony, it has propensity to kind of knot. It's very strandy. The colors, there's plenty of options. The yarn squeak, there's no yarn squeak on this whatsoever. That cotton really covers that for me. The, let's see, is it splitty? Yes, quite splitty. Not like some of the threadier cakes. This is wound. It is a wound strand. Not to the extent of some of the threaded cakes like the rainbow yarn from Red Heart and all of those where they're actually barely even twisted. This is twisted, don't get me wrong, but it's super splitty. It was really easy to split. If I just undo it a little bit, it looks just like one of those thread cakes. They just gave it a little bit more twist, which actually is nice because those threaded cakes where it's just 6 strands of thread together, those are rough. I mean, after a little bit, you are splitting those every couple stitches. I'd say I split maybe 1 in 20 stitches on this, but it was a pretty bad split. Well, it's not desired with yarn because when you yank one of these, since it's spun, it just kind of snags all the way. So I had to undo a couple of stitches, smooth it out, and just be a little bit more careful. I was pretty happy that I didn't get to a yarn color change. Because I've put in this much, that means I'm going to have a good long distance, and once those rows are getting longer, I'm not going to be changing colors 5 times in every row. So I'm happy that I didn't hit a yarn color change just yet, but let's rip one out just so you guys can see. Okay, let's see. I'm working from the inside of the cake against my own suggestion 95,000 times. I always say work from the outside, but I really want that black on the outside. So let's just get some yarn vomit out here and see how long that color change area is. Ooh, I'm all being careful because it was so knotty to begin with. This is still all solid. Ooh, are we almost there? We are almost to a color change. I see it. Oh, I'm gonna have such a knot. Oh, gracious. I'm doing myself in for you guys. Let's see. How long does it take for a color change in this cake? Okay, we have reached green right there. Huzzah! There it is. Let's see how long before it is fully green. Oh my gosh, it's so much. It's still just 1 strand of green after all that. All that, okay, that's getting into 2 strands of green. That's a lot. This is a very slow transition. So all of this, so twice as much of this as this, which is quite a bit, before it'll be fully green. Huh? That's nice. Okay, so if you had any concerns about how fast it was going to be changing, considering we're mostly crocheters and that affects us, those fast color changes come out so blotchy for us. The mosquitoes are literally eating me alive. I don't normally scratch myself. I should probably go inside now. But as far as this yarn is going, it's looking a little ropey. It's a little astringent. Not the most pleasant thing that I've ever crocheted with. It is soft. It is nice in that way. Oh my gosh, I got a mosquito bite. But it is soft. It is pleasant to hold, but it is astringent. I'm going to be using some lotion here. I'm very excited to carry on, although for a second I kind of considered stopping because the pattern feels like it might deserve a better quality of yarn. So I would call this a little better than a poor man's sheepja swirl, because sheepja swirl is pretty cottony and astringent too. But they're so pretty that we put up with it for our art, right? So I'm gonna go see if I can handle this nonsense. I will show you guys the finished shawl on the podcast. Hopefully I will be podcasting tomorrow because it's Friday. I'm sure I won't finish this shawl by tomorrow. We'll see. See you tomorrow. Have a great night. Take good care. Bye, guys.